First and foremost, I'm trying out some new streaming options. Hopefully, um, the image quality is better. Um, yeah, I think that everything should be fairly stable. Um, since my new connection definitely supports greater upload speeds. Yeah, right now I'm using the Restream platform to redistribute the streams to Twitch and YouTube, but I might test out different multi-stream options in the future. If you have any thoughts about the video quality or the performance of the stream, let me know. Um, yeah. Also, if I messed something up in terms of settings or something, let me know. Uh, mm, let's see. Anything else I'm supposed to say? Well, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. If you know any adjustments I easily could make in terms of OBS settings or something, definitely feel free to let me know. Um, I'm definitely experimenting and no no genius when it comes to how to set up streams. So yeah, feel free to do that. Um, I might be streaming a couple of hours today, and yeah, get some work done on the renderer and the whole UI situation. Um, before I have to go do something else. Yeah, we'll see how far we get. Uh, last time I realized that the UVs had to be inverted for this specific texture. I think at least. Let's see. Yeah. Um, it pertains to the DDS file format and the way DirectX12 handles UVs in relation to, for example, OpenGL. So what we will simply do is we will, this tool allows us to flip something vertically, which we will do for our font here. And we will save it as a, whoops, let's see, let's not do mip mapping. There we go. There we go. Let me just open that and see what happens. Yeah, so now it's inverted in terms of the file on disk. Can I check whether I want to flip something? rotate by, yeah, whatever. And we see that the texture gets loaded as it should. Um, all right. So that's the basic setup. We also have our um, file here with the font data. It's obviously using the texture here um, as a reference. So the first character, I think, is going to be offset by the x-axis by 460 pixels and 0 on the y. So it should be somewhere out here, maybe. Hmm. Maybe it starts with this one. We could open it in Paint and use that editor to. All right, we have nothing to handle that, but 460. Let me do. Can I do a copy? No, it's simply black. Well, so yeah, I think we are around here by this character. Anyway, the whole idea is that we have to parse this file, which is obviously just a text file. So we will have to write a parser for that. And that's what we will do. I created two files here, a header file and a CPP file during the last episode, which will hold our file letter. Let me see, let me just move this around a bit. Uh, yeah, I'll leave these ducks here. And let me see. Hopefully I'll get no echo here. It looks alright in terms of video quality. And it is in 1080p, or rather 1080p. Okay. Let me see. All right. So we want a font loader of sorts. Maybe we want a data structure inside our renderer. Nah, it doesn't really make sense that we'd store it in a file like the renderer. I think it's better that we simply take in, create another header with the actual data structures. Font types. Let's call it font types. We'll create a header where we will use our namespace here. Let's see. And we will build a struct called font. And we should probably create a would we like to namespace this? Systems, maybe. And, and create a struct that is called character. Maybe we want to structure it like that. Because we will have to pass this data. We have a name, so we could use string here. Of course, I need to include it. Name. And we want to save an unsigned int called size. I'm unsure whether we actually will be using anything else. Let's see. We also want to store the padding. And we of course want to store the height. Let's do sheet height, sheet width. Let's initialize all this as 0. And we want the left padding. Let's copy that. Right, right padding, top padding, bottom padding. Yeah, I think the usual way is left, top, right, bottom, right. Yeah, I think so. That's the standard way of doing things. Yeah. What do we else have? We have the number of characters on the sheet. Oh, wait a minute. That's this. No, that's the font size. Yeah, let's do number of characters. And this one doesn't have any kernings, which was actually somewhat helpful in terms of what happened during our last stream, where the viewers decided that I had to use Comic Sans. Even though I do not like the font, I have to listen to my viewers, and well, it turns out that it's a very simple font to implement since it have no kernings. It has no kernings. So yeah, we could add kernings here. Uh, Maybe we want to call this font character. And we could create an array. Inside this structure here. Um, yeah, we could do, well, this is supposed to be declared before this one, then we could do a font character array. Excuse me. There we go. We of course have to create an ID, and there we go. And we have to set the X coordinate, the Y coordinate, the width and height. And then we need to subtract some offsets and need to know how to kind of offset the character in between characters on the x-axis. So yeah, let's see. So we need some of this information. I'm just gonna move it over here so I can look at it as at the same time. Let's just do something that is related to graphics programming. So we can do UVX, UVY, or rather U and V, of course, because these are actually uh, a graphics way of saying X and Y. Then we want to say, oh yeah, and this is between uh, 0 and 1, so it has to be a floating point number. And we also would like, just for ease of use, a width. Let's do UV width and a UV height. And then a Oh, what do we else need? Let me see. Yeah, and we need the X and Y offset and the Y offset and the X advance value. Maybe a scaling factor in terms of this size, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe we don't need it. All right, so now we have our data structures. Would be a list of kernings. Okay. There we go. Let's see, default font. All right, in our font loader, um, well, when we I'm unsure whether the internal array handling of this will work, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, I'll have to include the font types here in our font loader, and we will start, let me just move this back, parsing this file. So for that, we need to create a method where we return a system. Didn't I? Systems, a font, and we want to load font, and we want something like a WCHART maybe. How is my typing specified in the other files actually? Let me just check. We have systems here, models, meshes, obj loader. Let me see. I specify the file name by const char pointer. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I think that's way better. Great stuff. Okay, we of course create a definition of that method. We can do, since we're in the CPP file, not in the header file, we can do using systems here without running into scope problems. Let's see, namespace. Yeah, I think this is more readable. And since we do it in the CPP file, we won't be defining this for every file, which I prefer not to. All right, let's do some file parsing. Let me see. I can't remember what the library is, or rather the header iStream. Is it just iostream? iStream, iostream. Yeah, we could do IO stream since I can debug that way as well directly. Although we have a macro that does that for us. I even think that IO stream perhaps is a part of the PCH. It's not exactly part of the PCH, is it? Yeah, it is. Okay, we have it already included then. No need to include that. And let's do a file stream here. Stream. Incomplete type. Huh? Are you just messing with me? Let's see. Do I need to specify what to open? Let's see. Incomplete type. Huh. Usually, isn't this the syntax? It's been a long time since I wrote a file parser. Let's see. Let's just watch the example. No, there's no example. Basic stream, iStream, iStream. Uh, let's see. Do I have to specify the type? No, it's specified already. Does the constructor of the uh, oh. It's been too long. Let me just see. Yeah. Read file. We could do it C style and just open the file. Since this isn't going to be... Yeah, I want to do it in another way. Just for training. Um, and since it's not going to be used at runtime, I think, or rather, runtime of course, but it's going to be used, but runtime of the actual game, or while the game is doing something, we will do it. Let's see, does this one not have an exam? No, it doesn't. Weird. Uh, okay. Well, it's already an input. Well, anyway. Why am I... It really doesn't like this. Is it because it doesn't register correctly in the F stream? Ah, maybe I do need a header then. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I needed a header then. Let's see if this compiles. Everything should compile. The renderer here needs to include general headers, D3 related, or rather D12 related, system related, file handling, and we will include some, what? I told you to step out of the directory, I think. Let's do a fun loader. Everything's fine. And we will, of course, not in the ren. Oh, well, we of course do not want it in the header file since there's no need for that. We will, that's already removed. Fun file. And during initialization, I think it's more of a preload static thing rather than initialization time, because the renderer just needs to initialize the swap chain and all the D12 resources. I don't think it's supposed to initialize anything else. Yeah. Sorry, I just needed to do some organizing stuff. Anyway, how did we specify it? Default loader, file handling. There we go. That's the namespace. Load the font, and we want to specify the font slash, maybe it's fonts plural. Yeah, it's fonts plural. And then the C sans, and then the C sans font file. And then we want to, of course, return a systems font. All right. So now we automatically call our method, which is fine. Nothing weird happens. Maybe we actually want to do that every frame, just so I could do hot reloading. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter too much. Anyway, we want a. Do we include string here? Yeah, we do. So I'd like a string. We call data, and we do stream, and then we simply print just for testing. Red, and we do data. And then we should be able to iterate by using white spaces. So we read info and then separated by a white space, and then we end up reading the thing there. Well, it doesn't. Ah, okay. Yeah, okay. It does exactly what it's supposed to. So, um, we read everything by white space. Oh, whoops, I shouldn't close that. So, yeah. And we also want to create a font result. And then, as you can see, the first item here is just the info. So we take the next step in terms of that, and we already get to the part uh, where we cut out the start of the name, but it kind of cuts off the rest of the information here. So we need to find a way to fix that. And we don't want the whole what do you call it? We don't want the face part of it, so we kind of want to start at after right after the semicolon. So we can do something like let's just do a test string for now, or rather maybe we don't. We just want to parse in the name here, so we can say that we want to find. Let's see. And maybe I need to do like that. Find that. And then add one to the iterator. Because I think, yeah, or rather not the iterator, but the index. And then, no, that's not great. Unsigned int index will be initialized to that. And then we do our data substring algorithm, the offset is our, maybe we want to call this start, and we want to and we want to subtract the start here because we want to yeah, this is not great. This is not great. This is not great. Because if it simply just cuts off here. Huh. This is not great. This is not great. Let's see. We could do something like setting the search method. This probably has a search method, or rather, character it uses to stop the file stream. Open mode. No, that's not it. Ah, yeah, we immediately see a problem here. We could also get line, I think. Well, that's maybe why we did it C style the last time. Okay, so we could just, for the name here, we could do something like, instead of doing this, we could do a string header where we do the get line and we pass in the stream and the output here, get line, let me see, file in, yeah, and we get the header. All right, let's see, header, just for testing, header. Yeah, so it basically cuts out the first line. You can see a line break here. And then we have info and we have common. All right, that's great. So we grab the first line. Let's see, cancel that. We'll grab the first line. Uh, we grab the first line. Grab header. Data. Header. Um, anyway, so we do the exact same thing as before. Instead, we simply do the header thing, and then we would like something like maybe we could do something like yeah, we iterate here. It's already past the semicolon here, so this is all contained in the line. Let's see, do we have any specific string find? Okay. Overloads where we can. Okay, so we can offset it. So we have the starting position, and then we have the end position where we ask it to find the exact same thing here, but we want to offset it by the start. And then we simply test here name, and we print out the name. And we simply, okay, yeah, it's supposed to do that. Or maybe, yeah, it's fine. And we simply do the end minus the start. Let's try that. Okay. Invalid string position. Let's see. Maybe it bugs out in terms of that. Yeah, that works fine. Should be at start. Should end at end. Eleven 24. Let's see. How does that? So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Well, that should work. Maybe I used the substring function incorrectly. Uh, Oh, wait a minute. It's because I used the wrong string. There we go. Comic Sans. It's great. It works. There we go. I close the file again. All right. Then we are at the next line here. And right now we print out the common. I'm not sure we want to use the line height, base, or whatever, but we would like the scale. So this is the first one, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we increase this scale W width. And we simply set the start. And we simply set the result sheet width to standard string to integer. Is this an algorithm or string? All right, it's in string, so we already got it. And and it's base 10, of course. And we do the data, and we do the start. Let's see, I can't remember the position. The string to convert. Maybe we want to substring it first. Could we? Should we do that? Yeah, I think so. That's our problem. So we do substring, and we do the start, and we do the data.size minus the start, and maybe we just want to grab the integer itself. Well, let's see. And then the next one, stream iterate, and simply copy this. Sheet height. Let's see, is it? Yeah, it's width and then height. And then width and height. Let's see, results sheet, height, width first, and result sheet, height. There we go. And we will of course test it by number argument out of range. Does the first one fail? It does. Store argument out of range. Huh, peculiar. I'm making a mistake. Let me just test this part of the call. I mean, I should test. This works fine. Test is blank for some reason. Ah, whoops. It's of course not the header. That's why I get an error. Yeah, okay. It works fine. I just need to type in the right stuff and not be an idiot about it. Anyway, we of course need to do the same thing here, and then we should get the correct values. 512. Let's just try it with 510 for the height. Yeah, it works. Great stuff. Although, yeah, we want to pass this out. Let me just copy it in. So this is what's left of our header, of course. So we want to pass that. We could simply do something like something like set the start to wherever we call, or rather find something like that, and then we set the result size to standard, or rather string into integer of our data, or rather header substring with the start, and then the header size minus the start. Yeah, let's do that. Width and height. Let's font size. Result that size. There we go. Whoops. Somewhere. This should just return a copyright, I think. Does this? It's allowed multiple font size. Again. Whoops. Ah, it obviously doesn't include the S for some reason. Hmm. So we want to iterate. What does the string operator actually do? Oh, there we go. Extract string from stream. Okay. So if I simply do something like this, can I do this? No, I can't. And I can't do something like, no. Yeah, I think we need to do like this. And then we um, Perhaps if I just do like, just a moment. Sorry about that. So yeah, maybe we just do like that, and then we can print out the. Now this will increase the yeah, right now the header contains. Oh, thank you very much. So right now we have this code segment here where maybe I want to, yeah, I could just do something else here. I can again use the start and end parameters. So we do uh, something like we store the first time where we get to the equal sign, and then we store the first time where we get to the white space, and then we simply do a substring on that. So we could print out the header substring between the start and the uh, end minus the start as before. And this should work fine. So well, it didn't really work the way I expected it to. Did I? It definitely didn't work the way I expected it to. Maybe I do header that size, yeah. Let's try that. Uh, yeah, maybe it doesn't find an end here. I'm unsure. Uh, string find white space. There we go. Oh, okay. Uh, pattern. Oh, it's the Java example. Let's see, C++. Mm, okay, let's try that. Does it return a size T? Yeah, it does. It still doesn't cut out anything. Oh, well, I'm doing something wrong here. I'm doing something wrong here. Let's see. I'm not really that used to working with strings in split string, std, white spaces. Okay, maybe we just create a separate stream then. Yeah, maybe iString stream. Temp stream, and we use that after we're done with the let's see. And we need to input a local variable not allowed. Let's see, do we need to include something else here? iString stream. SS stream, let's try to include that. String stream. Yeah, now that works. Then we have a temp stream here, and we can get rid of all of this. So our first part should be the whole string here. Or rather, the first, we could do like this, create a separate string, temp string, where we set temp string stream, and stream in the, or rather stream out the output to the string, temp string. There we go. First is info, which is great. It's the first part of the info. Okay, now we're back on track. Jesus. The file parsing is not something that I'm really great at just right now, or rather something I've been great at ever, but yeah, this works fine. We grab the font name, then we set up a temporary stream. Maybe I should do this scope so we can just clear the resources. And let me just comment this so I can get the whole header. Let's see, let's put this in the scope. We do it like this. And of course don't need this anymore. So the first part is info, the next one is face. I think this is, well, this is going to be a problem because yeah, I think we need to cut out actually the header here after the name passing because every time we have a name with a white space inside of it, we will get into trouble if we don't do this. Because we want to cut out the parts where the first quotation marks until we get to the second part of where the quotation marks are, and the string stream kind of operates by white spaces. So, for instance, if we use this, we would get this as a chunk and this as a chunk, and we would have no way of knowing whenever we actually are outside of the quotation marks of the um, the name of the file. So yeah, we need to kind of do like this, and then we simply stream our header. We can print it just for good measure. Temp string string. There we go. This should let's see. Temp quotation mark. Let's do +1. Size. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what we want. So we're back to this part of the code here. Um, yeah, so now we have our size. We want to simply start cutting out the header specific information, and we do like this again, except we set the start to whatever we need, and then we set our result dot size to a standard string to integer on a header dot substring starting at our start and ending at our header dot size minus the start, and we should be able to stream out the size now. Yeah, it works. Great. Great stuff. Okay, now we're back on track. Finally. And then we want to get the padding. So right now let me just copy this. We don't want to store the boldness. So we tell the stream to iterate a fair amount. I don't know if you can do it several times. Are you allowed to stack them? I don't think so. No. It's gonna be a bit messy, but I think the easiest way is to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then number 8. So we do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this should be our padding. Padding temp string. Yeah, it's our padding. So right now we are right. Yeah. Uh, And we want to grab the information in the padding. Therefore, we go for the first one, and then we set the end to our first comma, but not any further than that. Then we want the let's see, left padding is going to be standard string to integer. Why is it float? I actually think we did a float, yeah. What's the version where we convert a string to float? Is it, let's see. Convert string to float. Yeah, it's supposed to work, so I don't know why IntelliSense is whining. And we do the header substring, and we do the start and the end. Let's see. And we just print it out. Top padding, then the right padding, and then the bottom padding. Okay. And we, of course, then use our end as our next um, starting point, and then we set our start to well, would we like to would we like to cut up the string, or maybe we could offset it? Yeah, so maybe we want to find offset by the end. Would that work? Let's set the start to the end +1, and then try that. And then do this again. For the right padding, and then this might contain some bug that makes us crash, but no. Padding 32, it's looking somewhat right, but not entirely. Let's see, 32, so 0, 2, 3, 4, let's try that. See how many were correct. 2, 2, 2. Well, we're definitely not where we want to be. Let me just try out the actual string here. String in the header parse temp string. String in the header parsed. Padding. Alright, so we do get the right information inside our string, but somehow we mess up the parsing of it. So the left padding, and let's see, yeah, okay. Let's see. Uh, doesn't really solve it. We don't need this anymore. Oh well, we'll just keep it. So we find the first one. Maybe we simply just want the starting position. Maybe we don't want the end. Maybe this will be fine. Padding doesn't change. Well, am I missing some stupid bug? Am I missing some stupid bug here? Because, I mean, the string and the actual passing of the file is fine. Maybe if I print the values just to see what I get. Start and end. Start and 82. Well, the end is so far off. And the whole header is, well, huh. I'd say that it's supposed to find whatever. Separator. It can. Let's see. Maybe we need to do like this. No, probably not gonna. Yeah. Not gonna work. We could also just cut it like before. I mean, right now we have the right up here we cut it. So we could do something like that. Let me just comment this out. So right now we have the right information in our header. We simply cut out the we pass in the thing here. I want to find the header and we simply pass in the start and then the header.size and grab that. Then we only have the actual comma separated list, paddings. Let's see, header paddings. Well, no. Oh, well. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Oh my god. I'm sorry. It's staring me right in the face. I'm not even using the temp string here that I actually parsed. Okay. Let's see. I'm an idiot. So we do the same thing here. Start. And we of course do the temp string instead. And we have some errors somewhere, but I think we are on the right track here. Start end. Let's see. Let's just do end. Start +1. All right. Our padding is supposed to be 0. Let's just change this to a 1 so that we know that everything is getting, yeah, it's getting read all right. Uh, I don't know how many times I do mistakes like that where I am supposed to use some other variable name. Yeah, so the algorithm I wrote was probably perfectly fine. For instance, this, and this. Does it all work out in the end? Close. So at least it recognizes that it should add the number 2 here. Let's change that to a 1.2. Let's try that. 1.2, it works fine, so it grabs the second component of the padding, which is great. So now the next problem is that we don't reset the, no. Well, temp string. I mean, the end does get updated. Maybe we want to +1 here because maybe it needs to iterate. Yeah, there we go. Great stuff. Great stuff. Now we're done with parsing the header. We could do something like this just to put it in a scope, parse the header. Um, let's see, we want the We would just want to dump whatever we read from file, font name, result name. We want the print and padding. Oh, I shouldn't have deleted the old output left padding. Right. Bottom. I have made a mistake somewhere. There we go. All right, so right now our file name reads Comic Sans, size of 32, the padding is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the height and width is 512 times 512. All right, great stuff. Then we are, in terms of our data stream here, this is our current position. We want to advance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Data. Let's do data. Uh, 97. And we of course do the exact same thing here. Number of characters, where we spit out the number of characters. Whoops. Huh. This doesn't bug out right. Ah, whoops, I accidentally incremented one too many. Number of characters, 97, that is correct. All right. And then we need to read our characters. And we will simply do a while loop for that, since we'll do something like while true. And we will use this. And it will, of course, be data, or rather get line. Mm. For the stream, and we will output it into our temp string. Maybe we want to. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, if we do like this, we can do a, let's see, temp string compare. Mm, mm, char. If it's not equal, then we break. End of loop. All right. Of course, we want to not do like that. We want to, maybe we want to call this line. And we want to create a, maybe we can actually reuse the line. And we set the line to temp stream line. And then if line, yeah, that's great. End of loop. Right. Character ID. Let's see, line, yeah. Oh well, it just breaks off. Let me see. Test. Test nothing. Alright. This is not. If I do like this, let's see. Yeah. So the first times, whoops. It does read the whole line. And then just resets it. So maybe I need a separate string for that temp string. Let's just, whoops, of course I don't need to do that temp string. Let's see. Let's try to iterate the data by one. Test ID 0. Great stuff. That's more what we wanted. So we get the character ID of the. Okay. Huh. Can I? No, I can't. Maybe if I do like this. Yeah, so now it reads the first line here. The first one it skips. Let me just think about what I'm trying to do here. So first of all, let's just let's just try and dump whatever data we get here. First data, then a line, then we pass in the line and see what we get. So yeah, we want the first to be part of the actual line here. Line, well, it doesn't really work for some reason. I mean, if I increase the iterator here on the stream, it kind of chops off the char part of the thing. Which is not great. Let's see, line 2. And then on the next one, it kind of like does it correctly. I don't know why. I mean, see, it's like it has some kind of white space. It's like it has some kind. Hello. No problem. Are you working on UI setups or something of the like? Let's see. So, uh, we do, for some reason, get a weird. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's been a while. How's it going with the engine and stuff? So the first line is empty. Let me see. What does it tell us in regards to the size of the first line size? Line size, and I'll of course have to move this because it's supposed to go down here. Maybe we can check for the line size. Okay. So we can do a check. Uh, yeah. Oh, let me just. Um, so we will use this information here. So we could do a check. Right now we know we are around here somewhere, and we want to grab each line until we don't start a line with the text char, because we want to grab all our characters from the font information here. And we know we might get an empty line, and we don't. Oh, that sounds awesome. I'm happy to hear, man. That's really great. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm just missing. Yeah, I've set up a system in DirectX 12 where I can render basically anything to the screen. So right now I'm um, using the same pipeline for both rectangles or circles or whatever, and the same pipeline for texts. I'll just do different implementations in terms of. Yeah, the DirectX tech kit does it that way. Hello. Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't checked the Discord server. But yeah, the DirectX sprite spread batch thing does something like it. I think. Um, but I'm doing it all from scratch, and well, I already fixed that. I disabled. Hello. Um, right now I'm doing. Um, I hope you can see that someone messaged on Twitch. Uh, I'm right now doing a font loading mechanism where let me see, let me show you. I created this font file as a texture, and I have this information about where each character is on the texture sheet, and I'm right now writing a file parser that gets this information into the program, and then I'm gonna use that to kinda, let me show you, cut up. If you can see up here on the screen, I have the texture sheet, all the characters rendered to a texture in screen space, and I will use the information to cut out each character and render text that way. But first I need to need to know how to cut the character sheet. So this needs to be cut out, and whenever I, for instance, want to write a P, it just needs to sample this part of this texture that's already on the graphics card. Yeah, but the file parser stuff here is something that I'm not really great at doing, so it's going slowly but steadily ahead. But I think we need to do something like while true, and we want to do exactly like this, and uh, if the line, do we want, yeah, what line size? This means it's 0, then we continue because we don't need to read a line where um, we don't have any information. Um, yeah, I guess you're right. It's some kind of texture atlasing we're doing. Uh, yeah, I'm just building the whole thing from scratch. So yeah, this is the rendering. Let me see. Where is my draw call? Right now I have this for the UI drawing. Let's see, I need to add a comment here, end of UI drawing. So this is just temporary. I'll change it and create a proper UI setup whenever I'm done loading this font file here. It should not take too long. The sad thing is, though, that some of the viewers on a earlier stream decided that the font I should start out with is Comic Sans because they thought everything would seem more serious. I'm not sure that uh, that is entirely correct. Anyway, so now I'm gonna grab the line segment if we pass the check for a non-empty line, and then I'm gonna uh, stream out the first part of that line, and then I'm gonna check if it's not a character anymore. That means that we are done parsing all of the characters, and we simply break the loop. Let's see. If not, we are right now parsing a character, and we could uh, um, simply ask the system to parse out the ID of the character. Just all right. Something is not entirely correct here. Okay, I need to. Let's see. Right now I'm not getting anything here. Did I miss something? Value. We could also do temp string stream, or rather string, just to check that we actually get something into our buffer. We don't. Well, that's not great. Let me parse out a line for each run through the line. It's empty. Huh? Let me see. Let's see. Size. Rounded size. Line size 0. I mean, oh yeah, okay. I'm sorry. This obviously needs to be 0. There we go. And now everything seems to be working way better. Okay, that was the bug. This should. And if we. No, we don't need to debug that. End of loop. Well, let's just parse out whatever we have as our input here. Value char. Does it? End of loop. Yeah, it does. That's weird. Maybe it has the white space at the end. Yeah, great. That was the problem. Oh my god, file parsing. Did Great stuff. All right, now we simply have our ID, and as you can see, the ID gets printed for each character. Well, it's supposed to break before that. Huh. Before the count one. Am I printing anything here? No, I'm not. Uh, huh. I mean, I would prefer not to get the last part here. Am I printing anything? Bup, bup. Hmm. Let me just. I know that it will be 4 characters long. So this might work better. No. Well, whoops. Uh, like this. Compare, then char. There we go. Nope. Yeah. Ah. Is it the way I check, or rather, I mean, I'm not supposed to get to this part of the scope, I think, on the. It should just break. It should just break. Hmm. I mean, Why would it do that? Why would it do that? I mean, it grabs the line, it's not 0. If this doesn't compare to the if the first 4 characters of the we should break. Well, it simply doesn't break, that's the problem. That's the problem. It simply reaches an end of file. That's the problem I'm having. Let's see. And what about this one? Nope, it still doesn't break. Huh. Tester, meaning that we okay. Let's see. Okay. Then it's simply just hmm. Compare. Maybe we. Maybe I'm using the wrong function here. Return. The 0 means that they compare equal. Now that's confusing. Now that's confusing. If they don't compare equal. Temp kernings. I mean, the end of loop thing. All right, I know why. It's because I'm outputting the string information here. It doesn't do anything wrong now. Yeah, great stuff. End of loop. Great stuff. And we of course dump the font information down here. And then we want to heap allocate, or rather, well, we could end up overriding it. So if we could create a vector that's heap allocated, we could do a unique pointer. Yeah, I think instead of doing this C style, I think maybe I just want a vector here of font characters. Characters. Did we use systems? Yeah, we do. Loaded characters. And I mean, if I use the old pointer to an array, I mean, well, I could heap allocate it manually, but the vector kind of does the same thing. Yeah, I think it's more clear when I use a vector. You could do it however you'd like. If I were to do it more C style, I think we would use the pointer and array stuff. Yeah, we would have to. We wouldn't have vectors, but anyway. All right. Let's then create a font character called character, and let's start parsing this stuff out of uh, the file. First off, we set the ID. It's also the first information. When we do like this, we get the ID, and we're just going to use the exact same thing as we've done so far. The temp string here will be used Then we will use the temp string and temp string here. And then we will change the ID. And then in the end, we would like to move the character into the vector. And then in the end of our program for auto reference char in loaded characters, we simply print out the ID of the, there we go. Great stuff. Great stuff. So yeah, we don't need to print out this anymore. Store the, I mean, it's obvious what we do whenever we use a vector call. Great stuff, great stuff. Next, we want to load the x coordinate on the character sheet. And we will simply, let me just create a comment here that will follow us through the iteration. So now we're right here in the line. And we do the u coordinate and we do the float. Subtraction, isn't that a float? I think it's a float. Yeah, all of these are floats. Yeah, we will interpret them as floats. And then we do the same thing and set our y. And let's just parse it out. U. And the v. And then we have uv width and height. I think this was ID, then u, v, ID, u, v, I think. Let's see. And 0, ID 34 has 471 and 62. Yeah, this works. All right. So now we're at the UV width. UV height. We got width and height. We got X offset. We got Y offsets. Let's just parse that out. UV width and UV height, UV height, and of course we need the X offset and the Y offset. All right. So let's compare a random line. 49 or 39, I think. Let's see, or rather 40. So you, then 11, 35, offset 1. Looks like everything is quite all right. Let's see for the first one here. It definitely looks like everything is going smoothly thus far. And then we want the X advance. And the list parts are not relevant. All right. X advance. And the last part, X advance on the first is 16. And the last is 18. Let's see. Yeah. Great stuff. Great stuff. So now we actually have our font information here. We can comment out the debugger. We get our results and set our result characters to std move the loaded characters. And we return the result. And I think we should probably inside the renderer move it again. I think this will work. And let's see. Do we keep our font information when we pass the data around? Let's see, we pass in the font variable name here, characters. And it seems like everything is working fine. 126. Everything is working fine. Great stuff. Great stuff. So now our renderer actually loads our font information. Next thing we want to do is to store it somewhere. But I'll be having a break. I'll probably do maybe half an hour, 45 minutes more of streaming before I gotta go do something else. But yeah, I totally forgot to ask anyone whether the upgraded streaming quality has been noticeable at all. If the video quality seems better or the frame rate seems better. If you have any comments on the actual streaming experience, please let me know so I can make adjustments if needed. Yeah. Anyhow, I'll be back probably in a short while. Yeah. And if you're watching this in the future, I'll be sure to change the overlay so you know whenever I'm back again. Alright. Thanks for watching thus far. Feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Yeah, I'll see you later. All right. I've started to prepare some dinner, and while I'm waiting on parts of that, I'm gonna do a bit more work. Um, we don't want to mess with the... Maybe the font types would be nice to be able to look up. We don't need the player controller, global settings, blah blah blah, render data structures, nope. We probably want to mess around with the shaders for this text. And mm, we of course want to store a... Yeah, I mean this is getting somewhat big. Yeah, I'll probably do some refactoring in the future. Data structures. Uh, needed data. Let's do a vector of... Well, I do need to include the font types then. Subsystems. Include the systems, not file handling, is it? Yeah. Well, I guess it's... yeah, I'm not sure that this folder structure is that great. Systems font renderer fonts. And we want to, whoops, and place back exactly this. There we go. So we store it, and now we can try out a little bit of testing. Yeah, actually, uh, I think this is going to be a separate part because it's fine to have a file handling system, but the font system is not supposed... systems... font types, file handling, fonts, font types, there we go. So that was it. One is in order. The renderer needs to change though, because it's not in file handling, it's just in the font system. This does compile, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, because Maybe we want a CPP file. Maybe we want both a header and CPP file font utils where we not a class but namespace exe namespace systems we could do something like font character find font character where we take in a font reference font and we simply iterate over each we should also make this const. I should always try to do that. Nope, that's not it. There we go. This is the way it's supposed to be. Hmm. Well, how do we actually map? Character IDs. How do we actually map? Hmm. Is it just the integer-based version of the character? Is it mapped in terms of yeah? I think if you cast it, if you cast, well, whoops, we of course need a search character. Um, if search equals char cast of the C ID, I think. Return C. Okay, let's try that. Let's find during our rendering loop here, we want to ask the system if systems. Oh, okay, I need to load the font support. And we are right here in terms of systems. Find font character. Let's just test out the A and the M render fonts. Let's just try it for the first font. Let's do a literal here. There we go. And we font character char C equals that C print in ID of char that ID. There we go. Let's try that. Uh, 97. So if we take the X and Y coordinates and open our font in Paint 3D, can I see the coordinate space here? Am I not allowed to see the coordinate space? 3D view. Canvas options. Okay. Let's try something here where the paint bucket, and I'll save it temporarily because temp, because I simply need to just check the coordinates of our texture here. Images. Let's edit that in Paint because here I can see where my X and Y coordinates are. So 271 and 62. 271 is here and 62. That seems to be the corner of the A. Does that correspond to what we typed in? Yay, it does! It means that right now our algorithm is able to find whatever we input here as the character and find the appropriate ID and thereby UV coordinates of the character sheet. Great stuff, great stuff. So if we were to render text, we could do a small scope here let's see, we would want to let's just do it in a scope for now. Right now we're only gonna write a single character. This is totally great, man. We're almost done. Or almost, at least with the font rendering stuff, which is, to say the least, pretty awesome. So first I need to find the screen space coordinates of DirectX because I can't remember how they do it. All right, so the upper leftmost corner is -1.1, and the opposite corner is, of course, the values flipped. So let's just type that in. Upper left corner equals -1.1, and I did that right. Yeah, I did. Great stuff. Okay. And we will do the copying here inside a scope. So maybe we should just try to type the character small a, low cap, no caps a, in the almost uh, top leftmost corner. We could add some padding. Yeah. But the problem is right now that our character coordinates are in another coordinate system. So we kind of need to map this in terms of our UV coordinates. UV coordinates are simply, as you can see here, based on the, I think, yeah, well, it's flipped in DirectX. That's the problem. There we go. Doesn't matter that it's DirectX 9. It's the same. So in DirectX, the UV coordinates have the 0.0 at the top leftmost corner and 1, 1 in the bottom right corner. So this means that since the texture is 512 times 512, we kind of need to scale it down to values between 0 and 1. We simply divide the x coordinate by the total size of the character sheet. So that's fairly simple. We could also do the same thing in terms of the height and width. And we could do some offsetting stuff later on. This is relevant for when we want to type out different characters one by one in a sort of line. But right now we're not that particular. We will start out by doing something fairly simple. And yeah, we will see how that works. Okay, so we want some values here. Screen offset. Let's just set them to 0. X, screen offset Y. Yeah, we would have to write out a function that handles this stuff in terms of some simple input parameters, but right now we do it like that. Yeah, maybe we want a bit of padding. Yeah. Let's see how this works out. We don't like this kind of mapping. It's kind of like bottom right corner. Let's just see. So we need some way of translating between different screen space coordinates. Yeah, we will handle that later. So yeah, let's try determining. Right now I'm gonna hard code this, so this means that we do -1 plus this. So we want and one. So we want it to be kind of like up somewhere near the corner here. This means that let's call it position. Because we want to create a UI element that has these positions. Let's start with that. There we go. Now we want to calculate the width and height of the thing, rather the character we want to type. So we need to do some calculations here. We do the character width divided by the font sheet width, and we do the same thing for the height. UV height, sheet height. Okay, let's see what happens. So we write out something here to the upper left corner. Let's see if I simply reset this. Do we get the actual corner? Well, I can't really be certain. Yeah, I'm unsure. Let's see the vertex shader here. Let's see, maybe that would. Nope, it won't help. Uh, Let's just do this for now. Yeah, and then we need to fix the UV coordinates. And that is the X and Y. Width and height. The U and the V. Sheet height. Well, and we do something like let's just try out this. Well, that doesn't really work. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I'm doing something a bit wrong here. So I pass in the translated. Yeah, maybe I need to add the offset in terms of, yeah, that I need to do. So right here, I also need to, well, maybe, hmm, maybe I could just use this. Let's just try that. Well, hmm. Let me see, let me see, let me see. Let's do everything reverted back to this. Okay. If I simply start out by creating something that is far too big. maybe 1/2, and then let's see. Well, that doesn't work, and let's see. And maybe did I not save the old version of that one? Nope, it's not that one. Oh, let me just revert back to something. All right. Yeah, this works. Then we set the screen position to whatever screen position here. Let's start with that. Well, that doesn't work for some reason. For some reason. Plus and maybe minus this. No? Yeah, so that's part of the problem here. Well, if we imagine that we put something minus 0.9 here and 0.9. So the X position is like that. And we want to move towards we want the Y component to go towards 0, or rather even negative something. So we need to subtract whatever we put in here. Because, yeah, and then we need to add whatever we put in here. Because the X component goes from -1 towards 1. And the texture coordinates are getting let's see, did I change this? So the texture coordinate, Y coordinate. I mean, isn't it supposed to work? I mean, it's obviously not supposed to work, but um, so plus whenever the position of the x gets that value in. I mean, so for the first vertex, we will just use the x position. Let's do something like this. It's probably not gonna work. No. Let's do 0 and 0. Right now, I broke something. Let me see. Let me just revert back to whatever worked before. Is it because I do something wrong here? Hmm. So this is supposed to work, right? No, it doesn't anymore. So I broke something somewhere. I broke something. Yeah, right now it doesn't work because this one got changed, right? Yeah, okay. Okay. And how far can I change it in terms of there we go. Does this work? No, it doesn't. But if I simply specify like this, yeah, we have some weird effect of kind of like uh, maybe if we do something like this. Okay. So this means probably that uh, okay. What if I change this while we're at the center of the screen? Well, then nothing works. Hmm, why is that? Am I missing something in terms of the screen space coordinates? If I change this to a negative, everything should probably work, yeah. I mean, the y -1, then maybe a half. Then it's supposed to drop down on the screen. And it does. So yeah, at least that is correct. But this scaling needs to be negative for some reason. I'm not sure I like that. I'm not sure I like that at all. Yeah, maybe I want this to be as straightforward as it can be. So right now the corner of the texture is here. if I don't offset it. That's not the center of the screen, is it? I mean, if I look up the texture, let's see, -1 and 1. It doesn't really like. Let me see. So if I put it in the upper left quadrant, do I get anything rendered to the screen? I do. I do. It's almost like that is an offset of sorts. Am I missing something here? I'm unsure if I'm missing something here. If I change to the base texture, maybe I will have an easier time seeing what's going on. We of course need to change this one back. And if I specify a width of a quadrant and a height of a quadrant, well, I'm not really. I mean, the whole screen. Oh yeah, a quadrant is 1. Of course, this is just half of a quadrant, or even a fourth, because once you divide by 2 on each angle, you. Okay. So this is the center of the object here. So that's what I'm drawing. So if I, this will mean I'll draw a quadrant to the center of the screen. Yeah, it has, yeah. And if I do like this, nothing happens. This is somewhat weird. Yeah. And if I do -1 on the y-axis, it's supposed to be down here, yeah. And if I do -1 here, yeah, okay, now I got it. Okay, I'm doing the mapping wrong. We could do this negative, but I'm just gonna... This would mean that we only got... Okay. And let's see if we add... Yeah. So it seems to draw from the lower left position, which is somewhat hard to kind of like grasp. So this seems to be the first vertex, right? If I... Then it's supposed to be... Yeah, this is the first vertex. And then it draws along the y-axis in a seemingly... Yeah, that's why when I kind of flip this, it doesn't draw anything, because it wants to draw... Let's see. Uh, yeah. So this is the lower left corner of the thing. If I... Hmm. Isn't it supposed to just flip it when I subtract whatever value that is? I mean, for these two vertices, if it subtracts that... Let's see. Doesn't matter, of course. Hmm. All right. I'm starting to get hungry. I also need to grab a bit of food. Anyway, I'm gonna mess around with the character printing here in screen space coordinates in a different stream. Thanks for dropping by, hanging out, and commenting. Also remember, if you have any comments about the stream quality or any changes I've made recently, feel free to let me know in the comments. Also, I'd love if you found any of this helpful, inspirational, or even entertaining, that you'd consider pressing the subscribe button or even the like button. Hopefully, I'll be seeing you around. Thanks for dropping by. Have a great one.